I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
Imagine rain. Not just any rainfall, but a torrential downpour. The mountainous thunderclaps and thousands of sheets of water so thick that you can't see anything. All you have to guard yourself is a soul umbrella. It signals more desperation than protection from such violent waters. Perhaps it would be wiser to retreat. This deluge is actually the onslaught of the dark side 10 years before the Clone Wars. Under this umbrella, the timid, stupid, and blind Jedi gather. And they frightfully welcome Anakin Skywalker, the so-called chosen one, into their fold. No, welcome is perhaps too strong a word. I think regretfully decided to train him because they lacked the vision or acumen to make any other decision sounds much better. The chosen one the boy may be, but grave danger I fear in his training. This is why the Jedi sicken me. After 1,000 years, your mortal enemy, the Sith, show up at the same time as a boy who has the highest midichlorian count ever in any life form. And you're worried about his age. You're worried about the Jedi code versus the prophecy that your entire order is built around? And you refuse to train him? The Jedi deserve their fate. You see, friends, this was the soil of fear that led to anger, that led to hatred, that grew Anakin into Darth Vader and made the galaxy suffer. It's the reason why Anakin was so partial to go to Palpatine for advice. The Jedi didn't trust him from boyhood, hovering over his every move and exploit, so what exactly was he supposed to trust them with? Aside from Obi-Wan, I can only think of one time when another Jedi openly praised and leaned on Anakin for help. That example is Yoda when he was gonna undergo the training from Qui-Gon to supersede death and become one with the Force. He went to Anakin to help him leave the temple, although it was forbidden. That was the only time. I see through the lies of the Jedi. It was true from a certain point of view. The Jedi were lying to themselves. They weren't the guardians of peace and certainly not justice. In the Qui-Gon Republic comic, he cautioned Yoda that they'd come to be viewed as solely warriors in the eyes of the galaxy, to which Yoda disagreed and said that on this matter the council would keep their own counsel. Okay, Yoda. It was only after the conflict, when Yoda was speaking to Ezra Bridger, that he had a change in perspective. And justice. Let us speak of justice. How's throwing Ahsoka Tano, Anakin's Padawan learner, into a Senate trial where the judge was the Dark Lord of the Sith? They feared her just as irrationally as they feared her master. So I too see through the lies of the Jedi. Qui-Gon is the only Jedi that says on screen that they need to trust in the will of the Force, whereas Mace Windu and the others that are part of the hierarchy repeatedly stress the Jedi code. Even Obi-Wan says that his allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. This is the fault of the Jedi. This is why the Jedi are evil. I too see through the lies of the Jedi. Caught in a torrential downpour of the dark side, the Jedi should have done what any rational thinker would have. Go inside. That is to say, they should have stepped away from the conflict into a spiritual retreat where they could find their true enemy. Instead, they stayed huddled under that umbrella, waiting for the storm to pass. With so many lives at stake, billions lost in the Clone Wars and the Chosen One in their care. Did the Jedi do what had to be done? No. The bumbling behavior of the Jedi Order can be considered as not just irresponsible, but nothing less than evil. And so they were destroyed.